Hope I am audible and my screen is visible to you. I need your response on the chat box. Yes, okay. Okay, so the most important thing, like before we start the session, so it's all about how to handle the mock exams in the best way and to improve your scores and to end up with a good rank. Okay, so our 100 days plan. So I have splitted that into 60 plus 40. So we are at the 40 days, the last 40 or 38 days. So we are left over with the 38 days where we need to focus more on the mock examinations. Okay, attempting them, analyzing them, understanding them, and proper revision. Building the confidence is one important part. Apart from that, building the concepts is also important. So these are the things which we focus and which we are going to understand, like basically what to be done. Okay, so my point is these 38 days, you have to see the aerial view of the preparation. I don't mind how your preparation is. Like you may come and tell me, sir, I don't have not done my preparation great, or I have not started it. I'm planning to start now, but I want to give the best for these 38 days, or I have started in the last 10 or 15 days, or I am serious from last 2 months only, or there may be few category of students who are preparing from last 12 months or 13 months, 14 months, or last year also there may be part of MDS Congress students. So different individuals will be at different levels in this particular race, but the ultimate goal of all of us, including me, you, and everyone, is to give best for these 38 days. So to get the best from these 38 days, you require a best plan. Okay, so I strongly believe that mock exams are very, very important. Like if you talk with any of your senior who got a decent rank, maybe 1,000, 2,000 or 3,000, whatever they feel, it's a decent rank. They feel they feel if their rank is decent, they can confidently tell that, okay, I got a good rank to my level of preparation, then definitely they are going to add a note about mock exams. It can be from anywhere throughout the country, any institute it can be, but the only thing that's going to make the student confident and make the student happy after getting the result is going to be mock exams. They never leave mock exams to tag with their success. So planning of mock exams is very, very important. Okay, so maybe in the initial phases, like first 3 to 4 years, we hardly used to have only 10 mock exams. So then in 2020, because of COVID-19, we have improved it to 15. And the last two batches, I mean, the last batch was the highest batch with the highest number of mock exams from my side. That turns around like 20 mock exams they have given. And now we are planning more than 25 mock exams. Officially, I have listed only 25 here, but I'll give chance, or I will make you to practice more than 25 mock exams. That is a plan, because I was talking to most of the toppers in the last few years, everyone tagging mock exams. They have changed the fate of my preparation. So that is the reason why I give more importance. So before going to discuss what to be done in the mocks and everything, okay, I have few common questions from most of you, which I am planning to answer before we start the particular discussion. I think as of now, we have 250 plus crowd. Okay, so I want you to be active. If you have any doubts, I'll try to clear itself. Okay, let's motivate. Okay, it's not about I always motivating you. It's about motivation from all the sides. Means you have to motivate sometimes, and we have to motivate you sometimes. So it's more of like a reciprocation. Like it's more of a teamwork. Like, okay, so whenever we have a reciprocation from the students in motivation, how the student can motivate, you can ask me how the student can motivate. Giving exams on time, talking with the mentors. Okay, interacting with the mentors, knowing your issues, discussion with the mentors. So whenever the students respond, then we will go 2 steps ahead to work hard and to make things simple for you. Okay, right? So there were few questions. Okay, so checklist to be done. Okay, so many are asking, like till now I have given so many checklists. Okay, so whenever you are in the first phase of preparation, I have given a different checklist. Now in the last phase, last 100 days plan or 50 days plan, I have given a different checklist. Now last 38 days, along with mocks, I'm going to give a different checklist. And most of you who are already doing good, for example, like in the last 3 or 4 exams, if you're constantly maintaining 600 plus, you are, or 600 or 550 or 500 plus, you are extraordinary. You have a large scope and space to improve lots of things in the last 38 days. You can become extraordinary in these last 38 days, because regularly most of the institutes, or it can be MDS Concur, if you take 2018s, 19s, 20s, we used to conduct mock exams in the last 30 days only, 30, 35, 40 days only, we used to conduct the mock exams. But this time we were ahead. We are already done with most of the mock exams. We are already done with 7 to 8 mock examinations, and your performance was drastically improved from exam to exam. And that is really extraordinary, which is required for the preparation. Now, during mocks, and particularly people who have started recently, people who want to focus seriously recent times, okay, this checklist is very, very important for you. Okay, so what we should revise for mocks, what we should do for each and every subject of mocks. It is very simple. I want you to stick on to the quick revision videos. Quick revision videos. Quick revision videos are available for almost all subjects except Prostho. Even I thought of doing quick revision for Prostho, but I strongly believe whatever that is there in the Dental Pulse, I have to do it as a quick revision, because synopsis of Prostho for Dental Pulse revision, the basics of Prostho, FPD, RPD, CD were extraordinary. So the quick revision part of Prostho, you can do Dental Pulse synopsis. You can do the synopsis part of Dental Pulse of CD, RPD, FPD. Clear, done. Okay, so apart from quick revision, what other things has to be done? Okay, the next other things, what you have to do is repeats. Repeats. AIPG repeats. AIPG, or you will have a tag like NEET repeats. So you have to do repeats from 2022 to whatever level you can. Mandatory, must do up to 2017. Even if you want to do from 2016 to 2001, yes, it's good if you do. But must do. What is must do? 22 to 17 must do. Okay. So as of now, the website is having 21, 20, 19, and 18. Okay. And within few days, we are going to update 22 along with the discussion part. 17, anyway, you have examination on 23rd, and I hope most of you have already started the 2017 repeats exam is there on 23rd, and I hope you have already started it. Okay, right. So repeats has to be done. Okay, so repeats means for every question paper, like for example, you say 2021 question paper, you will have 14 questions from each subject. So if you're doing 2021 question paper, okay, or 2020 question paper, you are going to cover all the subjects balancedly, and you are going to cover 14 topics from each subject on a particular day, on the day in which you are doing the question paper. Well, the third important thing is whatever that is being posted on the group. So you have your WhatsApp groups. As of now, we have 3 groups. 1, 2, and 3, differentiated by 3 heart symbols. And in these 3 groups, MDS Concur strength was around like 1500 plus students are there. Leave about how many are active, but 1500 people are there in these 3 groups. So most of the information, whatever that is being shared, okay, is important for exam. And all controversial questions, because most of the people, they keep on asking the questions. So what we do, we revise all the controversial questions which are posted personally as a doubts to me or any of the staff. So we discuss that questions, we discuss very important questions, we discuss controversial questions, we discuss PP books. So lots of things we discuss which are important for exam on the group. The fourth important thing is mock examinations. Mocks and exams that has to be done, or things that has to be done. So whatever I'm mentioning, okay, exams that has to be done or things that has to be done, whatever I'm clearly mentioning on the group, they have to be addressed. They have to be done. They have to be addressed. Okay. So these are the 4 golden things that you have to follow, and exceptions. People who are exception for this, people who are already doing good, people who are already maintaining 600 plus in the grand examinations, in the mock examinations, in the model examinations, I hope you're already done with most of these things. Okay. I hope you're already done with quick revision. I hope you're already done with repeats. I hope you're already doing the group stuff, and I hope you're already following the things on it. So there's nothing very special for you to do extraordinary. You're already done with this in the round 2 or round 3. Okay, so you go with your plans, whatever notes you have prepared by seeing the smart videos, and whatever plans, strategies you are following, whatever MCQs you're doing from sources like Dental Pulse, Dentist, or PP Books, and whatever it is you're doing, do it from your side. This is very specifically for the people, one category of people who are not giving exams regularly, who are yet to start the preparation, who are yet to be serious in the preparation, or maybe for the students who are not able to achieve that 500 marks, still moving around 300s, 400s. Okay, I want you to focus more on these things. Is it clear, guys? Checklist to be done during the mocks. Is it clear? I need your response. Your doubts, everything will be clarified after the session. So first, my point is I need to discuss few important things, so I'm discussing it. Okay, done. Thank you. Next comes is how to solve exams. So coming to mock exams, how do you solve? So the best way of solving the mock exams is I want you to keep a separate book of 200 pages, long book for mock exams. Good book. Preferably, I want you to keep a classmate book for this mock exams and get some highlighters. Okay, boys, most of, even if you don't use highlighters, get some good pens. Okay, 4 or 5 colors, red color, green color, whatever colors are available. Get some 4 colors pens, multiple pens, and get some highlighters and get a good book. Before you start any grand examination, which is already done or which is yet to done. Say 8 are already done. Okay, rest of things are yet to done. So keep the grand exam name and the number of grand exam. And when you're attempting the question paper, I want everyone to keep these 2 columns. One column for the question number, which is unknown. For example, you read a question number and you don't know the question number. You don't know the concept. You heard, that's the first time you have heard. For example, there is some caries activity or CPITN index. You don't know. So for example, CPITN index question is question number 4, unknown concept or unknown topic. So you are going to add letter 4 there. Means this 4th question, I have never heard, I have never practiced. Okay. Second one, you have already practiced. Okay, but you have already practiced same question. Again, CPITN, you have already practiced, you know it, you have solved it, but while attempting the question, you are confused between 2 options. It means you are confused with this topic. You are not clear with this topic. This topic requires revision. So for example, now there is a question on zones of or zones of fish or zones of dentinal caries, enamel caries. You know from childhood, that is from BDS level also, you know. But when you're attempting the question, you feel it's confused. Okay. Should I go for option B or should I go for option C? You will confuse, but you know this topic. So this is called as known topic, but you are confused or you are not clear. So for example, question number 8 is on zones of dentinal caries. You're confused between the zones. The sequence of zones was slightly confused. So you have to write the question number there. Right. So once you're done with the exam, all these questions, unknown, known, but not clear, you have to highlight. So I'll write here. What I'll write? Dentinal caries zones. Now, where I confuse, I'm going to write the 4 zones in the sequence, and I'm going to stress it. Before you go for next examination, I'm going to read this. For example, this is in grand examination 8, it was done. So before giving a grand examination 9, I'm going to read this book. Before giving grand examination 10, I'm going to read this. Before giving grand examination 11, I'm going to read this. I'm going to read this n number of times until I become perfect with this concept. And if any question is coming from this area, I'll never lose. I'll write and I'll read that number of times so that I'll be strong in this concept, which I felt I'm weak at one point. Similarly, once you're done with the exam, you will have some 20 unknown questions. Roughly, I'm telling, few people may have more than that. If you have not started the thing seriously, the number may be more. Okay. Or few known confused topics can be somewhere around 20, 25. So make sure you read them properly, spend some quality of time with these questions, read them properly and understand them properly. And if you want to write anything very short that you have to revise before you go to the next grand examination, it has to be written in this particular book itself. Or else you have one option on the website where you can write notes there itself. You can write notes and you can mark it. You can mark that question, you can write notes, and whatever you want, whenever you want, you can revise them opening that particular question. This is one important thing, that if you implement these things, you can see extraordinary changes in your scorings and in your performance in the final exam. This is an extraordinary principle that I strongly recommend everyone to follow you. Is it clear, guys? Topic 2, how to solve exams, how to be more effective in exams, how to improve your scores in exams. Done. Can I move to the third question that is most frequently asked nowadays by the students? Yes. The third important question is how to decrease negative marking and how many questions to attempt. Okay. So this question, the answer for this question varies from individual to individual. For example, I have seen few mentors, or when I was preparing, my mentor told to attempt 230 plus out of 240 if negative marking is there in the exam. We used to have exams which doesn't have negative marking also. You have to attempt everything if negative marking is there. See, this is what my mentors used to tell. But this principle is not applicable for all the students. This principle is applicable only for the students who are already doing good. For example, you're already doing good. You're already doing good, 500 plus, 600 plus. Then you can attempt 230, nothing wrong. But if you are not up to mark in the preparation, okay, so you should not attempt 230. You should attempt basing upon your ability, basing upon your capability. Okay, so you can ask me how to decide my ability, how to decide my capability, sir. I cannot do that. So I'll tell you a few principles to decrease the negative marking and to improve your accuracy. And make sure you try to practice these principles and make sure you try to give the review back to me so that I can modify a few of my suggestions for the next batches. So whatever suggestions which I am pulling now are collected from the previous batch toppers, previous batch students, interacting with the students, analyzing your performances on the website. So make sure I need your feedbacks after following this principle by giving at least 5 or 6 mock exams, so that I will try to modify these principles. So principle number one. If you don't know a particular concept, if you never heard a particular concept, there is a keyword in the question, you never heard that, you don't know that. And in sometimes you are not able to judge a particular question is from which subject, don't touch those questions. Don't touch them. Don't try them. Don't try them, because you are not a scientist. You are not a scientist. I'm not a scientist to invent something in that 3 hours and come out with the answer. So you cannot invent something, you cannot write something. Okay, so don't touch and don't waste time on those questions. First golden principle: if you don't know the concept, if you never heard the term, the keyword in the question, and if you are not able to decide which subject also, it is completely blank for you, don't touch them. Second question, NEET examination. For every wrong answer, you will get -1 score. And for every right answer, you'll get +4 score. And for every answer, you will have 4 options and you need to select the best. Basing upon the calculations, the net result of NEET is 0. How it will be? Different types of calculations are there by different mentors. So my calculation is NEET will have A, B, C, D. And most of you are preparing well. Okay, most of you are preparing well. Even if you don't prepare, and for example, in a particular question, you keep every question you keep A and come back, you will have 60 right answers. Minimum 60 right answers. Just keep A for all questions in the entire exam and come back, you will have 60 right answers. 60 means 60 into 4. how much it is going to be? 60 into 4. 60 right answers means 60 into 4. So it's going to turn around 240. And out of 240, 60 are right means you made 180 wrong answers. 180 wrong answers are going to give minus 180. So even then you will get 60. Even then you are going to get 60 marks. Okay. So the net cumulative effect of NEET is positive only. That is the reason why you see most of your seniors or mentors are going to tell, attempt as many as possible and come back. Attempt more questions and come back. Attempt at least 230 and come back. Okay. So net effect of NEET is 0. But what principle you have to follow? For example, you have a question, option A, option B, option C, option D are there. And you know the concept, you heard the concept, but you are not clear about the question. But luckily you are able to eliminate one option. Okay. So the answer is in 3 by 1. 3 by 1 is 33.3%. Okay. So now the chances of getting a right answer is 33.3%, which is more effective. Normally, your chances of getting a negative marking is how much? -1 is your negative marking. So your chances of getting a negative marking is 25 and chances of getting a positive score is 33.33 if you are able to eliminate one option. So 33.33 is more. So calculations in mathematics, so 33.33 is more. I want you to attempt such questions where you are able to eliminate one option at least. Now, second category, you have one more question where you are able to eliminate two options. So you are left over with two options and the chances of getting a right answer in this is 50%. Your chances of getting a wrong answer, negative marking, is 25%, which is more, this is more. So whenever you are able to eliminate one option at least in a question, how can you eliminate one option in a question? If you know something about the question only, then only you can eliminate one option in the question. So if you are able to know something about the question and if you are able to eliminate one option, make sure you attempt such questions. You are completely blank, don't know, never heard, don't attempt, because you are not able to eliminate an option in it. Okay. So this is how you have to attempt the number of questions. It's not about how many attempts your mentor is telling. So your mentor may address the toppers and tell to attempt 230. You may not be in the topper. You have initially started the preparation. So it is 230 is not for you. 230 is for the students who are already doing good. How much is for you is you have to decide basing upon this. So see the question, decide whether you have to attempt it or not. Don't prepare and go to examination hall that whatever it may be, whether it is easy or difficult, I'll attempt 235, I attempt 230 because my mentor told to attempt 230. For example, by mistake, if the question paper is so easy, and if you know all 240 questions, will you attempt 240 or 230 as your mentor told it is just 235, 230 or 235? No, I'm asking a very genuine statement. 240, you know 240 are easy. How many are going to attempt? 230 as Srikanth sir told, right? Anyone 230? No one of us will do that. Okay, right? So this is how you need to practice. So during mock exams, you should decide what is your level of preparation, how far you are going, how many you are able to solve. So what is your figure? So overall leftover mock exams, the mock exams only will tell, okay, I should attempt in this range so that my effective score will be more. So always focus on the effective score, not on the number of questions you attempt. What is going to determine your accuracy? Or I mean, what is going to determine your marks in the examination or rank in the exam? Is it number of right answers? Is it number of questions you attempt? Is it number of right answers who are going to decide your marks, or number of questions you attempt is going to decide your marks? So you practice, you have exams here, you practice and decide what is your range of attempt. Okay. And final exam also, don't go blindly with the particular number and start digging the things, because sometimes the question paper may be too tough. And you have a predetermined mindset that I'm going to attempt 230. If you're not able to reach those 230 goals, you'll have the depression feeling. You lose that confidence in the examination hall. And this is true. It has happened many, many times to many, many students. Okay, clear about this principle? Principle number 2. Yes, next comes the principle number 3. Whatever hits your brain first, that is right answer. Whatever hits your brain first, that is right answer. There is one exception for this. Except until unless you are 100% sure to change the answer. There is one question on some Dean's index or something. Okay, so I have attempted it. After going to 10 or 15 questions ahead, I suddenly strike something in the brain that, oh, that question I went wrong. If you're 100% sure that you went wrong, then only go back and change the answer. If you're still in a dilemma that the Dean's question, whether it is answer A or B, I'm not very clear, it's only 50-50, then don't change the answer. Is it clear? When you should change, you're 100% sure. Yes, 100% sure this is wrong, I want to change. Go and change. If you are not sure, still 50-50, don't change. And one beautiful thing is, practice this. How? When you're giving mock examination, you write down the questions where your brain is suggesting you to change the answer, and you write down the questions where you have already changed the answers. So just write the question numbers where you have changed the answers, where you have thought of changing the answers, and analyze it after the exam. Write the question numbers. It will only tell if you change the answer, how many are becoming right. If you're changing the answer, how many become wrong. Clear, right? Third principle is clear. Clear. I hope the third principle is clear. I want you to be active, very active. You should be more active. You are the 8th batch for me. And I have prepared for entrance for 3 years. 8 plus 3, 11 years. I'm doing 11 years. From 11 years, I'm doing the same stuff. I should be inactive. You should make me more active. Next, fourth principle. Fourth principle. Trust yourself in the exam. You should trust yourself. You should trust yourself in the exam. Means whatever you're keeping is right. That's all. Even if the paper setter has a different answer, he has to change the mind and come to your answer. You should trust yourself. Once you trust yourself, only you can go to the next question. You should confidently press that next button for the next question. You should be very confident. Whatever you kept in the examination hall is right. That's all. This you have to trust. You should not have that phobia. That question, is it right or wrong? Is it right or wrong? Means if you are going to the next question, means you're drifting to the next concept. Do you think most of your questions will be on the same concepts? Anemia, 10 questions. Antibiotics, 10 questions. Implants, 10 questions. Do you think the question paper will be like this? No. So then there is no point. Like it is something like you're operating a class 1. You have done a root canal therapy in one patient and coming back doing an extraction on another patient. So there is no point of thinking about the old root canal that is done when you're doing an extraction here. You're doing a maxillofacial surgery on one patient and thinking about extractions, like root canals, what you have done in the previous appointment. Do you think like that, or do you think about the patient who is in front of you? Very simple. You're doing a maxillofacial surgery. Okay, some mandibular fracture or handling. You think about mandibular fracture or think about the previous one? Yes, but most of you will be worried about the outcome and we start thinking about the previous question. So once you press the skip button, once you press the next button, no point of thinking about the previous question. No point about thinking about the previous concept. No point of thinking about the previous subject. It should be very, 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 very clear. And I want you to practice this straight away in your mock examinations. I hope this is very, very clear. Don't think, now you have a question in front of you, have a concept in front of you, have 4 options in front of you. You should think 100% only about this, not about the things which are already done. Means you should maintain that integrity. You should maintain that trust on yourself. Because if you ask me, the most important person for you in your life is, who is the most important person for you in your life? Yes, whatever it is, the most important person in the entire life for us is we. Okay, so a few of you may tell my mother, my father, my brother, my sister, You can tell me my boyfriend, my girlfriend, my wife. But before that, my is there. My boyfriend, my is there. So you always love yourself. So if you love yourself that much, and if you, and because you're the one who is leaving entire life of yours with you. Okay. And tell me what is the answer for this. Who is the person who is going to spend maximum time in your life with you? Who is going to spend the maximum time in your life? Yes, the answer is same again. It's you. Okay. Maybe your parents up to a particular part. Maybe your future. Once you get married, they'll be in the second half. Children after their birth. Okay. Friends, a particular time. So the one who is going to stay with you from your birth to death is you. So you should trust yourself. You should respect yourself. You should obey yourself. You should focus only on yourself. This is a golden principle. And you have to follow this in the exam very specifically. I don't know whether you are following this or not, but at least I want you to trust yourself. I clearly mentioned, trust yourself in the exam, in the examination hall. At least you have to trust yourself in the examination hall, because in examination hall, no one is there to help you. You have to come out with the answers, right? So these are the 4 golden principles. I'm repeating again. Once you don't know the question, you don't know the concept, don't touch it. Second one, once you are able to eliminate only one option in a known concept questions, and if you are left over with 3, you can attempt such questions. Number 3, whatever hits your brain first, accept the question where you are planning to change the answer. And if you're 100% sure, then only change the answer, or else don't change the answer. Next one, trust yourself. Okay, done. So there's one more question from the student side about this. How to attempt, how to handle, how many phases you have to do the question paper, particularly mocks. If it is a regular subject specific or 2 or 3 subjects, you can do whatever you want. But if it is on all the subjects, you'll be having 20-25 subjects covering 240 questions into 4 options. You need to solve them within a 3 hours limited time with lots of pressure and confusion. So what to be done? Okay. So phase 1, most of the questions should be solved. Except phase 2 questions. You can ask me, sir, what are phase 2 questions? Second one, I will be talking about that. Phase 2 questions. Phase 2 questions are the questions which are lengthy. Very descriptive part, 5 lines, 6 lines, 10 lines sometimes. Even if you know the question, skip it for the phase 2. Don't do it phase 1, because it is going to eat time, because we don't know how to manage the time until the question paper is done. Now here questions may be easy, questions may be familiar. You don't have that stress. Final exam, you'll have that stress. You'll be in a new place. You'll be sitting around new people. You'll be completely in a new zone, and you're going to give an exam. Your brain will take time to get settled. It's not like regular exams, what you're giving at home or in the offline center or in a college library, which is a familiar phase. So brain doesn't require time. You'll go sit, start the question, rock it and come back. This is not going to happen in the exam. So that is the reason why we don't know how to handle the question paper until it is done. So that is the reason why I want you to skip the lengthy questions to phase 2. Questions which are lengthy, questions which requires time to think, questions which require elimination method to come out the right answer, questions which require calculations, mathematical questions which require calculations, questions which are blank for you, but you are feeling blank. Or for example, sometimes classifications questions will be blank. It requires some time to get that clear-cut idea. Few people have this habit. Like, for example, a question on a classification is being asked. They'll close their eyes and they'll imagine the textbook page, and the textbook page will come not immediately. Okay. It's not a 5G network. Our brains are not 5G brains. Okay. So what is going to happen? Brain will take some time to get that classification picture. Okay, so questions, I'll simply add the word questions which create blankness. You know that Ellis classification, you see Ellis classification, feel very, very happy. Lots of adrenaline is released, but once you see the options, you are blank. Wait, you can do it in the round 2. Okay, right? So these are the category of questions which has to be done in phase 2. Okay, so there is something called as phase 3 according to few mentors. Few experienced mentors, they are going to tell about phase 3 also. I have seen few people telling phase 3. You decide what to be dropped in the phase 3 during your phase 1 and phase 2 itself. Like for example, I told you, right, questions you don't know the concepts, questions you never heard, that is called as phase 3. Means phase 3 is to leave the 10 or 15 questions, whatever you don't know, like your attempt is 225 according to the difficult index of the paper. What to be leaving, what you are planning to leave in that 15 questions is phase 3. Leaving the questions is phase 3 according to me. So don't divide it into phases. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, phase 5. No, we don't have that much time to divide that number of phases. It is only phase 1 and phase 2. And last, you may be left over with some 15 to 20 questions. Now, in this 15 to 20, you want to remove few things. You want to remove few things and push them to phase 2. Okay. So what the questions you decide, like you feel like the question paper is easier, because you know, even if you are not topper, you know whether the question paper is easy or not. We can decide that with a good preparation, with a decent preparation. So in that decent preparation, if you are feeling that the question paper is easy and I'm attempting only 225, I need to improve my attempt by 5. So in this leftover 20 questions, what 5 you have to pick and attempt is what you have to decide in the phase 3. No time, Salman, for no time. It varies. Topper may have all questions in phase 1 itself. So it's not about time. No time. Don't keep time. You yourself have to calculate the time when you're going through the question papers. Like half an hour is done. Half an hour is done. You can see half an hour that is over. So how many questions you have attempted? So logically, in half an hour, how many questions you have attempted, you have to calculate. Or 1 hour, like for example, it's a 240 questions. Means by 1 hour, you should attempt more than 80 questions. Next second hour, 80 questions. Third hour, 80 questions. Totally, it's going to be 240. So by 1 hour, if you're still at 60th question, you need to speed up. So you have to modify the speed basing upon the number of questions left over. That is required. It's not about the time duration that you need to spend in each phase. Okay, right. I hope this is clear, right? This is clear about, I want you to do in 2 phases. Okay. 2 phases, phase 1 and phase 2. Okay. And don't break your heads to create n number of phases. Yeah. So your quick revision, like your repeats, non-repeats, single liner questions. For example, they're asking a question. Rubber dam was invented by. What is the answer? Rubber dam was invented by is a question. Right. So most of you have answered it right. If you don't know the answer for this, you cannot invent rubber dam there in the examination hall. Okay. So there is no point. Leave the question and move on. If you know the answer, you can finish this question in less than 5 seconds. So such questions has to be done in phase 1 or repeats. You have seen 2022 repeats, 2021 repeats, chaka, finish it, mark it and move on. So that you can spend a quality of time with phase 2 and phase 3 questions. It's clear, right? The main goal is to convert more questions in phase 1 itself so that you can do good. You can spend some quality of time in phase 2 and phase 3, where you need to think, analyze, answer, eliminate, all these things. Clear? Clear?